Hello, this is a tutorial on creating a course-specific chatbot using open educational resources. So you can see over here on the left, I have built a chatbot that is unique to the content of my course, my biology concepts course. And so in this course, I use the OpenStax Concepts of Biology OER or Open Educational Resource, which has a Creative Commons license. Okay, and so if you click on that, it will take students to that resource. Now, the student does need to have a ChatGPT or OpenAI account. It doesn't have to be the paid version, it can be the free version, but it will take them there. And you can see that this LifeBot has a few pre-built questions into it. Can you help prepare me for a quiz? Can you help me understand a concept? Can you help me study for an exam? And they can go in and start asking, like, help me study for a quiz. Okay. And so just by doing that, it's then going to ask them, what chapters do you want us to do? And it, because I've pre-built all the chapters in there, it already knows that. Well, let's say I need to study for chapter 9. So I can put in CHP 9, and then it knows that I'm studying for molecular biology. And so it gives me some things to study in the text, where it is in the text, and then it asks me, would you like help understanding certain topics? Well, I need to understand transcription better. Transcription, okay? And so then it's going to go through and help the student understand that. The student can also say, okay, quiz me on vocab, okay? And then it will give them some vocab. So here's some vocab from that chapter, and says you can type out the answer to one of these. Okay, let's see. You're supposed to list the definitions of each of those, okay? And then it will go through each of those. So you could say, I can't remember what RNA polymerase means. Let's just see what it says. No worries, you can learn. And forgetting is part of the process. Let's break it down. And so then it goes back over RNA polymerase, explains to the student what it is. Then you can go on to what a codon is. So, and so you can see that this could be very helpful for a student if they need someone, especially late at night, they're studying for an exam or a quiz, and it gives them some idea of what to do, where to look in the text, and information like that. And so that is available to all of my students. So the question is, how did I come up with this AI chatbot? And it's surprisingly really easy to do. It is so easy to do, okay? So what you do is you go over and click on the icon with your initials. If you've put in a picture of yourself, your picture will be there. So once you've clicked on that, you're going to go to My GPTs. This will be blank if you've never done it before. As you learn how to do it and you create a few, you'll begin to develop a list. What you'll do is you'll create a GPT. Now, usually it'll start by having a little chatbot over here, and it is designed to help you, and you can just start typing out, I want to make a GPT for this course. I do not like to do it that way. I think it's easier to do it over in configure. And let's just say I want a chatbot for, so I'm going to call this an OER chat or OER bot. And you can name yours whatever you want. This is an OER chat bot for OER for the OER course, introductory course, for an OER introductory course. And you can add anything you want there. I usually add the author of the text that I'm going to be using. And then you can write, do not give answers to quiz or exam questions. Rather, direct the student to the right places in the textbook or in course materials. Okay. All right, and then you can put in any information, what are in each chapters, any other kind of instructions you want to give to the chatbot in order to do that. So, and then we've got something called conversation starters. Conversation starters could be like, help me study for a quiz, or help me understand a concept. Okay, so you can put whatever you want here. Those are the conversation starters. And usually when you write those over here, they'll appear over here in the preview. The preview seems to be down today because it's not showing up over here. Usually your introduction, your description will also appear over here, but it's not doing that today. All right, so we need to also upload a proper course materials so that the GPT knows where to look for all the information for this course. And so I've got a GPT available right here, and I am just going to upload that. Okay, and so I've uploaded a PDF. This is an OER textbook that is available. And incidentally, again, you can't do this with the regular textbook. It would be a violation of the copyright laws, but you can do this with open educational materials. I do not want this chatbot to look in the web. I want it to get its information from my materials because I want to make sure students and I are talking about the same things. So I'm going to uncheck that. Okay. You could have a Canvas thing locked in there. Image generation, if you're going to do image stuff, you could do that. If you're doing code or data analysis, you could have that clicked as well. I do not do any further actions. That's all I've got to do. And I want a nice little icon. So I'm going to use Dolly. If you're not familiar with Dolly, it's an AI image generator, and it's going to look through this material right here and generate an image based on that information. So it's going to do that. I'm going to click create, and I want the link to be to go to anyone with a link. You can put it on their store if you like, but since this is just for fun, I'm going to just leave it as anyone with a link. And so there's our link right there. Now, at this point, then it's up to you to find a way to get it installed into your LMS, okay? So we use Canvas at our school. And so the next part of this tutorial will be Canvas based. And so if you use another LMS, you'll have to figure out how it would work for you. But here we go for this Canvas-based end of the tutorial. So I'm going to copy this right here, copy by clicking on that. And then I am going to go over to my LMS. Okay. And let's see, get that out of the way. Let's go over to my OER. All right, and I want a chatbot over here. I got to clean this up eventually, but at the moment, what we're going to do is just get a chatbot in there. And so I'm going to go down here to settings at the bottom, and then you're going to go to apps, and you're going to, you can just do a search over here, but I like to click on installed, and you're going to find this redirect tool. Okay, redirect tool. In Canvas, if it's not available, contact your network administrator, and then you're going to click on, in the redirect tool, you're going to click on add app. Okay, and then this is where I get to name it. So this is OER bot. Okay, and I am going to paste in my link from here. So I copied this link and I just put it in this redirect tool. I want it to open up a new tab. I find that it works better if it's not trying to do an embedded work connection in Canvas. So I force open a new tab and I want it to show up in the course navigation. Okay. Once I do that, then I'm going to click on add app. Okay. Then you're going to want to refresh your screen. Okay. So if you're in a browser or an app, there's ways to refresh the screen. I'm just going to do that real quick. All right. And so then I can click on home. I'm going to look down here at the bottom and you can see that it's there. I don't like it down there. So really quickly, I'm going to go back to my course navigation and I have got to clean that up. I'm going to move it up to the top. And you can see there, I've done that. So don't forget to click save when you're done with making these types of edits. If you've ever worked with Canvas, you already know. But there you can see it. It's right there. And I've got an OER bot that can help students with questions with our two prompts for questions. I can ask, what are the chapters in the text? And it's going to go through and list the chapters in the text, and I can start asking it questions, and it's a built-in tutor into my course. All right, so I hope that was interesting and useful. Please contact me if you've got questions or need help. I'd be happy to help you. Thanks. Bye.